Genos versus Drive Knight, who would win? Now, if you don't really care about the tiny announcement slash update I'm about to make, just fucking skip to the time frame that will be on the screen like right about now. But to those who actually care about me, I know I've been gone for quite a while. Well, I've been gone for about a week, but compared to my normal upload frequency, it hasn't been the same. Normally I would upload about 3 to 4 videos a week, but I have only up for 2 reasons. One of them being I'm in the middle of like an exam period for about 2 to 3 weeks. So in about 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be back to my normal, upload schedule. But in the meantime, expect like 1 video a week in that 2 to 3 week span period. And the second reason I've been gone is because I've been playing a lot of Neo 2. I don't know if any of you know the game, but it's basically a Sekiro slash Dark Souls type of game. But obviously the main reason for my lack of uploads is exams. But apart from that, thank you guys for 400 subscribers. I know I'm a bit late, but better late than never, I guess. But the next milestone is 500, then obviously 1,000, so I'm looking forward to that. But now that's finally out of the way, let's just get into the damn video. Now, both Genos and Drive Knight are very strong S-class heroes who I would visit and wins in a fight. Genos is currently S-Class rank 14, whereas Drive Knight is S-Class rank 9, meaning Drive Knight is in the top 10 S-Class hero. And in all honesty, I used to think Drive Knight was like the upgraded version of Genos and was just a better and stronger, version of Genos in every way. And Drive Knight's fight against Nian just convinced me even more that he was way stronger than Genos. However, Genos had an upgrade and was able to beam clash against Saikorochi, and fair enough, it was his final and strongest attack, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he was very impressive in that fight. Probably more impressive than Drive Knight in his fight against Nian. And I'm sure you guys are saying, don't we like not know enough about Drive Knight to actually put him in a versus battle? And the answer to that is yes and no, because we have seen him in fights such as his fight against Nian, but at the same time we haven't seen the full extent of this guy's power. But that factor could actually help Drive Knight even more in this versus battle. But first, let's go over each of these cyborgs' powers, and let's start off with the man himself, Genos. Now, Genos is actually 19 years old in the manga and is 5'10". Now, obviously, these guys are going to have a lot more abilities slash moves since they are both cyborgs. So get ready for a bit of an information dump. So yeah, so Genos has full body cyborg enhancement, giving him obviously extreme levels of strength, speed, reflexes, etc. He has a core that acts as his heart and can make his core self-destruct when he's backed into a corner and knows he will be destroyed or killed. Genos also has incineration cannons that can be found mainly in the palms of his hands, which allows him to shoot large heat slash fire or energy blast from his palms, and these cannons actually have a bit of range, which is always helpful in a fight. And Genos's incineration blasts were able to bring down the House of Evolution to the ground, which is definitely very impressive considering how easy he was able to do this. He also has hyper sensors, detachable body parts, arm blades, boosters, and probably his main and most powerful form in his base form, which is arms mode, which basically allows him to shoot even bigger and more devastating blasts at once, which of course is definitely something that we should take into account when putting him up against someone like Drive Knight, who probably has something similar to this. However, Genos has actually had multiple upgrades since the start of the series, and I've actually went into a lot more depth with these upgrades in a video I did quite a while ago called Genos is a lot stronger than you think, and that video was pretty much going over all the main upgrades Genos has had since the very start of the series and seeing just how far he has come. But we won't be going into too much depth with these upgrades in this video. But as I was saying, Genos's first upgrade was his G4 upgrade, and he got this upgrade after defeating the G4 robot and using some of its parts to enhance his own cyborg body, and this upgrade increased his speed and power by a considerable amount. The next upgrade Genos received was the upgrade after getting completely destroyed by Goketsu, and this upgrade mainly increased his raw cyborg strength. Now, the next and final upgrade he got was the Monster Association Arc upgrade, And this was obviously before, the big fight against Psychos. And this upgrade was actually recently showcased in the manga in, the big fight against Orochi. Now, this upgrade gave Genos a huge boost in every single aspect of his powers / attributes. Now, Genos was actually able to beam clash with Orochi with this upgrade, which already makes me worried for Drive Knight. But moving on, Genos' fighting style / moves are mainly projectile based attacks with the use of moves like Incineration Cannon, Super Spiral Incineration Cannon, which is pretty much the stronger version of Incineration Cannon. He can use True Spiral Incineration Cannon, which, yes, you guessed it, is the strongest version of Incineration Cannon, but this move is a one-use move until Genos' life is pretty much at risk. Genos would have died in the last chapter if not for Fubuki saving his life with her Esper powers. Another move Genos has is Self-Destruct, which I'm sure you can tell, purely by the name. He can just make himself blow up. He also has more moves like Machine Gun Blow, Lightning Eye, Boost Attack, Rocket Punch, High Voltage Fist, Rocket Stomp, Dual Blade Rush, Jet Dive Arrow, Arm Lasers, and Thunder Drill Cannon. Yeah, Genos has a lot of freaking moves, which is so ironic because we all know Moomin Rider still is the strongest character in One Punch Man and can easily stomp Genos with one attack. But anyway, we've stated all of Genos' abilities, upgrades, and attributes, and even big fights he's won / shown impressive feats in. So now let's move on to Drive Knight. Well, so far we actually don't know the age of Drive Knight, but we do know that he is 5'11.5", making him taller than Genos by more than an inch. Drive Knight, as I said earlier in this video, is S-Class rank 9 and has actually never lost a fight before in his life. Drive Knight was able to defeat Nian, a cadre, while sustaining very little damage, and bear in mind, Nian is a dragon level threat, making Drive Knight a definitive high dragon and maybe even low above dragon. But in terms of physical abilities, Drive Knight possesses immense strength, speed, durability, and reflexes, and this is all showcased in his fight against Nian. Now, Drive Knight's main fighting style is transformation, or more specifically, tactical transformation, and this fighting style is definitely different in a way to Genos. Although Genos does transform, he does it on a smaller scale to what Drive Knight does. Now, Drive Knight actually doesn't have as many moves as Genos from what we know so far about him, but he does still have a few moves such as Knight, where he turns the lower half of his body into a horse, which increases his speed and his leg strength. He also has a move called Silver, which gives him a sword capable of easily piercing a dragon level monster. He has a move called Chariot, which just transforms him into a motorbike that can shoot missiles and all sorts of other wacky stuff like anesthetic gas or acid or whatever. Rook is another move he has also used in the manga, and this move transforms him into a fighter jet that can shoot energy beams, cannons, and lasers. He also has a form called Bishop, and this move transforms him into a large humanoid robot with a helmet, and this form was able to tank energy beams from Psychos. Now, Gold is probably my favorite form of Drive Knight so far because the form looks so fucking good. This form, as I'm sure you can tell, adds a layer of gold armor to his body, and his hair turns white, and he has like some flares shooting out from, parts of his armor. And in this state, Drive Knight was able to withstand pretty much Nian's strongest attack and defeat it using a move called Heat, which raises Drive Knight's body temperature to extreme levels, literally causing a huge fire. Now, Drive Knight actually has a few little other abilities, being Keen Perception, Master Strategist, and finally Electricity Absorption. Yes, Drive Knight can literally absorb electricity and use it as his own, for power reserves. Now, this is where things get a little bit weird because there's information from the webcomic that is very crucial to use in this matchup to come to a final, decision on who wins this fight. So I want to give a spoiler warning to manga only to skip to the time frame on the screen that should be, on the screen right now, so you can skip to the person who wins this battle. But don't worry, I will still be using another method to back up why I think which cyborg wins this fight. In the webcomic, as I'm sure we all know, Genos gets an upgrade after the Monster Association arc, which is stated to not only allow him to pretty much defeat a dragon level threat fairly easily, which clearly implies that Genos before this upgrade wasn't able to defeat dragon level threats easily. And if you can recall, Drive Knight was able to defeat Nian with ease, which pretty much automatically seals who wins this battle. But if you're still not convinced, I will be using another method to back up my final verdict of Drive Knight winning in my manga only section, which is right about now. My final verdict for who wins this fight is actually very close in where we are in the manga. So instead of doing what I do in my usual versus battles, I decided I will use 3 categories to decide who wins this fight. And probably the 3 most important categories when it comes to winning a fight. Now, the 3 categories are power, maneuverability, and versatility. Now, in terms of power, I would say they are pretty close, but from pure feats alone, I believe Drive Knight takes this category. And in terms of versatility, I'm sure we can all agree that Drive Knight is more versatile than Genos, and I would argue Drive Knight is the most versatile character in the series. Plus, we still have not seen all of Drive Knight's moves, because if you didn't already know, Drive Knight's tactical transformations are named after shogi pieces, meaning we still haven't seen all of Drive Knight's forms. But finally, in terms of maneuverability, I believe both of them are around the same. However, again, I believe Drive Knight just takes this category because, the guy can literally switch between being a fighter jet and fly around and shoot lasers to being a motorbike and shoot missiles. Drive Knight's mobility as a whole is very impressive. And on top of this, let's not forget Drive Knight can absorb electricity, meaning all of Genos' energy / lightning based attacks will not work against Drive Knight, making Genos even less versatile in this fight and has his fighting options narrowed down as well. And with that being said, I'm sure it's safe to say that at the moment in the manga, Drive Knight in a fight against Genos would win. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on and set to all. And apart from that, I will see you in my next video.